Hi guys, we're about to start Chapter 8 of A to Z Mysteries, Colossal Fossil. This is Super Edition number 10, written by Ron Roy. The kids are about to head back to the museum. Let's see what happens next. They started walking. How would anyone be able to make a fake diamond so it looked just like the real river diamond, Josh asked. Sylvia could probably do it, Ruth Rose said. She told me she makes jewelry. She made that bracelet she always wears. The real one looked like a dirty hunk of black coal, Dink reminded them, so the fake one had to look exactly the same. Her bracelet has chunks of stone, metal, and plastic in it, Ruth Rose went on. Great, let's arrest her, Josh said. Slow down, Josh, Dink said. We have no proof that she did anything, and the same for Trevor or Dr. Worst. Josh shook his head. You're right, he said. So how do we get proof? I've been thinking about this since I woke up, Dink said. What if we go see Trevor? I'll show him the hairs we found on my shirt and ask if they're from a man or woman. See what he says. How can he tell that? Ruth Rose asked. He's a paleontologist, but he told me he used to be a detective, Dink said. He knows about clues and stuff. Dink, Trevor could be the thief, remember? Josh said. The hairs could be his. You even said so. If you ask him, he has to lie to us. Like, dude, these hairs are from a dog or a chimpanzee or something. If Trevor and Sylvia stole the diamond, he'd be crazy to admit that the hairs came from him or her. Maybe, but I want to watch his face when I show him the hairs, Dink said. Sometimes the bad guy's eyes give it all away. I like your idea, Ruth Rose told Dink. We'll watch Trevor's eyes. But what if he really did steal the diamond, Josh asked. As soon as you show him the hairs, he'll know we suspect him. He could lock us up in the dungeon under the museum. Ruth Rose laughed. I doubt there's a dungeon under the New England Children's Museum, she said. Well, there could be, Josh said. And everyone knows dungeons have tons of spiders. Dink grinned. Let's go find out, he said. The kids hurried back towards the museum. I hope Sylvia isn't the thief, Ruth Rose said. She's so nice. I saw her give a sandwich to a homeless man yesterday. I thought Trevor was pretty nice too, Dink said. But they both have straight black hair, and they both work at the museum. We know Sylvia was there when the river diamond got stolen, and maybe he was there too. They passed a store that sold toys. The window display was a tall building made of small plastic blocks. In front of the building were miniature cars, trees, children, and dogs, all built from the little blocks. The next door showed a female mannequin wearing a dark fur coat. A sign next to her said, Fur Storage. Let us keep your beautiful fur coat safe. Hey, remember that guy Nog who works at the museum? Josh asked. His hair was black. So was his beard. Yeah, I'm pretty sure his beard and hair were fake, Dink said. Besides, they were both curly. The hairs from my shirt are straight. So is the one I found on the sink in the bathroom. The kids kept walking toward the museum. I just thought of something, Josh said. I'm so smart. Dink and Ruth Rose stopped walking. Please tell us why you're so smart, Dink said, grinning. I just figured out why the thief has to be Sylvia, Josh said. Why? Ruth Rose asked. Josh grinned. Her last name is Slate, right? He asked. Dink and Ruth Rose nodded. So an anagram for slate is steal. Dink just shook his head. 10 minutes later, the kids walked up to the museum steps. A sign next to the door gave the museum's hours. It won't be open for another hour, Ruth Rose said. Dink saw a button and pushed it. They all heard a loud buzzing sound. Sylvia opened the door. She smiled when she saw the kids. Hey, she said, have you come back for more cookies? Sylvia wasn't wearing her cap. Dink stared at her hair. It was shiny, black, and straight. No, Dink said, but they were really good. We came to see Trevor. Is he here? My brother? Sylvia asked. Sure, he's in his lab. Her brother, Dink thought. Can you ask him if we can talk to him? He said. Sylvia stared at Dink for a minute. Okay, come on in, she said. They stepped inside the lobby and Sylvia locked the door behind them. She walked them to the lab door and knocked, then opened it and slipped inside. Everything in the exhibit looked the way it had yesterday. The boxes of Spinosaurus bones were laid out neatly against the wall. The river diamond display looked as if it had never been disturbed. No one else suspected that the diamond under the dome was a fake. The kids stood beneath Spino and waited. Dink looked up at the plank that had fallen last night. Could it fall again? He took a few steps backward. Did you hear what she said? Josh hissed. They're brother and sister. It's a family crime. Dr. Wirtz is probably their father. Ruth Rose giggled. Too much TV, Josh, she whispered. Just then, Trevor and Sylvia came out of the lab. When Dink saw them together, he could tell they were related. Their hair was the same, and they both had blue eyes. Hey, Dink, Trevor said. You wanted to see me? Suddenly, Dink felt scared to ask Trevor about the hares. What if Trevor and Sylvia were the thieves? Dink thought about how fast he and Josh and Ruth Rose could run for the exit if they had to. But could they unlock the door? We wanted to know if we could see your lab, Ruth Rose piped up. My lab? Trevor asked. Why? Dink still didn't know what to say. Because I want to be a scientist, Josh blurted out. When I told my teacher we were coming here, she asked me to interview someone who works in a lab. I need to learn about clues and fingerprints and stuff. Trevor smiled. Cool, he said. Okay, come on in. See you later, sis. Good, Dink thought. Josh figured out a way to ask about the hares. Sylvia gave her brother a long look, then headed for the office. Trevor led the kids towards the lab door. Dink's legs felt like rubber bands. Even with his hands stuck in his pockets, they were cold. He felt his cell phone and wished he had let his dad know where they were. They do look a lot alike, don't they? That was the end of chapter 8. See you again next time.